So let's start with Fortnite. Sweeney breaks down how Fortnite evolved from a co-op zombie shooter to a full-blown social ecosystem. What Epic did wasn't an accident, they built a platform inside a game. He says the goal was to give players a space where they could hang out, explore, and create, not just compete.
Turns out that playing a game together with your friends in a really socially engaging way with voice chat is just way more fun than playing a solitary game for the most part. And there are exceptions to that, but I think we're seeing much more playtime shifting towards games you're playing together with your friends, and not just random internet strangers who happen to play that game too, but the people actually know in the real world.
For us developers, this is huge. It means that the next player doesn't just want gameplay loops, they want presence, voice chat, avatars, live events, user-generated content. That's the new baseline. And here's the kicker. You don't need Fortnite's budget to do this. Even a solo dev can start prototyping persistent lobbies, player customization, or modular UGC systems. The tools are out there. Unreal Engine 5 makes this possible right now. Now let's talk tools. Unreal Engine started as a game engine. Now it's powering movies, automotive design, live events, even architecture. Tim Sweeney said something important. We want Unreal to be the Photoshop of 3D. That's not small talk. He's envisioning a future where creators of all types use Unreal Engine as the backbone of everything interactive. What does that mean for devs like us? Learning Unreal isn't just a career move for gaming anymore, it's becoming creative superpower. Imagine getting freelance gigs not just for indie games, but for music videos, AR experience, VR showrooms, even films. So if you're wondering whether to double down on blueprints or start learning Niagara, Lumen, or MetaSounds, now's the time. Let's get a bit spicy. Sweeney has been vocal about platform wars, especially Apple and Google's 30% cut and restrictive ecosystem.
Over time, the big companies have realized that they could shut down and just block software makers from releasing software on their own and block software makers from doing business with customers directly. And I've always viewed this practice as terribly abusive because when you buy a computer, you spend, or a phone, you spend good money on it. It's your money you spent on that phone, and now you own that phone. And there's absolutely no reason that Apple should block you from installing apps from other developers directly if you want, going to their webpage, or writing your own apps without their permission and running them yourself without having to get a developer account, without having to go through their bureaucracy.
In this interview, he argues for open platforms where devs keep their freedom and users aren't locked into walled gardens. Epic's even building the tools like Epic Online Services to help indie devs go cross-platform without giving up control. Interested in EOS? Click on the box to the upper right. I made a video explaining the setup. Takeaway? If you're planning to launch your game, don't just rely on Steam or the App Store. Start thinking early about multi-platform publishing, account systems, cross-play, and where your players will actually be. Epic wants devs like us to compete on a fair field, and it's on us to learn those tools and leverage them. Alright, the Metaverse. Yeah, I know, it's a loaded word, but Sweeney actually explains it in a clear and practical way. He sees it not as a one mega world, but as a network of connected experiences. Think users' identity, persistent worlds in a shared digital economy. In simple terms, the Metaverse is lots of little worlds built by devs like us, all talking to each other. You're already part of this if you're building multiplayer games. Add in things like persistent characters, in-game currency, player customization, and boom, you're building a mini metaverse already. Now, here's where things get wild. Sweeney talks about AI not just as NPC tools, but as a co-creator. From procedurally generating landscapes to writing dialogue or optimizing performance, AI is becoming part of the development process itself. Imagine AI building your nav mesh, cleaning up spaghetti code, or helping you balance your economy. But here's the warning. The future belongs to devs who learn to work with AI, not compete against it. Start integrating tools like MetaHuman Animator, procedural tools, or even AI-generated logic testers. The future's not coming, it's already here. So what does this all mean? games are evolving into platforms, engines are evolving into creative hubs, and devs, we're becoming world builders, not just game designers. So, if this video gave you something to think about, smash that like button. Got a game you're working on? Drop its name and where to find it in the comments below, and I might give you a shout out on the next video. And if you're stuck on your UE5 journey, join the Dev Games 3085 Discord, and I'm there helping devs like you every day. Oh, and if you want to learn what's new in Unreal Engine 5.6, click on the video to the right. Some of these updates are wild and can seriously boost your workflow.